Well, the markets are open here on a Monday. I'm Marlon Bowling, your tour guide to the ag commodities, and we have help this time around from Dewey Strickler of AgWatch Market Advisors in Franklin, Kentucky. Dewey, first of all, let's take a look at how the markets are opening on the corn, soybeans, and the wheat and cotton, and we'll take a look here on the corn this morning. A little weaker start. We have the March contract a penny and a half lower now at 378 3/4. Overnight, it was about flat. Let's take a look at how we're opening up soybeans. On the soybean trade, we have the March contract, 8 1/4 lower this morning at 9.17. That's just a little over a penny off its low of the day. That's now 8 cents off our overnight high. And July soybeans down 8 1/2 at 9.43 1/4 as things get rocking and rolling in the trading floor. Let's take a look at the wheat. And in Chicago wheat first, we have the March contract a penny and 3/4 lower at 5.18 1/4. That's on the low of the day now and about a nickel off our overnight high. In the Kansas City market, we currently have the March contract trading at 5.06 3/4. Only one tick from our low of the opening range. We're down 2 3/4. Minneapolis wheat, on that spring wheat market, we have the March down 1 3/4 at 5.73. Same story there, just one tick off our low of the overnight trade and early morning start here. Now, in the cotton market, we have the March contract 49 points lower. It's at 73.64 cents per pound. Now, back to Dewey Strickler. Dewey, you and I were talking during the break here before we came on live about the USDA data, and it sounds like the supply and demand numbers will be delayed, and they'll just come out with I guess, a merged report on February 8th when they have the February report. Is that right?
Yeah, that is correct. There'll be no January report. As you said, all of the data will be merged together in the February 8th report. So there's going to be a lot there that traders are going to have to look at.
So in the meantime, I guess the question is, when do we get the wheat seedings data? Is that going to also be held off until February, or do you think we may get that sooner now?
Well, I'm not sure. I haven't heard any mention of that. So I really cannot give you an answer for that right now.
The other big question mark hanging over the market right now is when we'll get an update on the accumulated overnight sales that we have had on a daily basis for the last 3 weeks. Any word on that yet?
I think that will come out on Thursday. They'll update everything in the Thursday weekly sales reports.
Okay, so I'm a little bit surprised to see the markets opening weaker like they are, especially on the soybeans, where they're down about 8 cents or more right now, and the weather forecast in Brazil does not look all that great. It looks like it's going to turn hot and dry again in most areas.
Well, there's a couple of things here, Marlon. One, we're probably running the course on weather in South America because we've already seen harvest start. We've already heard of a few estimates that are going to be lower than what they were here in the last USDA report. Secondly, the trade is apprehensive regarding the meeting that's going to begin here Wednesday. We've had some optimism built into this report here, and I can tell you that I said report, but into this meeting, it better be positive here because the trade has been looking for something positive to develop out of it. Technically, this market looks like when it's in, we could go down below the point of origination where prices started this advance back in September.
Interesting stuff. All right, Dewey, we'll come back here in a moment and we'll see how the livestock trade is opening up on a Monday. Our guest, Dewey Strickler, don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this. Let's go ahead and open up our livestock trade along with help from Dewey Strickler of AgWatch Market Advisors in Franklin, Kentucky. So here we go. Let's put on our swimming gear and dive into the live cattle trade right now on the market in Chicago at the CME Group. Here's a look at our first trades today. On the February contract right now, we're trading 20 cents lower at 125.85 per hundredweight. And we have the April contract down a dime at 126.75. And you have the June contract just one tick, 3 cents lower at 116.67. Very narrow trading ranges to start things out here today, kind of uncharacteristic here on the cattle market, but a weaker tone. Now, if you look at the feeder cattle trade, here we go with a look at March. It's up a nickel at 143.68, so 2 ticks higher there. April also up a nickel. Well, it just changed. Now it's 13 higher at 144.85, so that's within a nickel of its high of the opening range. And if we look at the lean hog trade this morning, here we have the February contract down 17 at 58.20. And we have the April contract 8 lower at 62.05. All the deferreds are 30 to 60 cents lower, so a weaker start there as well in the lean hog trade. Everything seems kind of tentative here, Dewey. When you look at the livestock markets, they don't seem to be too excited about anything.
No, you're exactly right on that. The cold weather is supportive on both the cattle and the hog market, but it's not having very much impact here right now. When I look at the hog market here, we had a gap down here on Friday. The market looks like it's trying to gain a little bit of support, but unless we can close above that gap in the hogs on the April contract at 63.17, have to look for the market maybe just try to work down a little bit below today's low.
What do you think the odds are that China will become an active U.S. beef customer?
Well, I think the odds are pretty good. We're going to see China come in and be a buyer of U.S. beef here. How much? That's up for grabs for the moment, and I think that has probably had some support on the cattle market here, and very well could be supporting it a little bit now.
There for a while, they were buying a significant amount of U.S. pork, and then the last few weekly export sales reports that we got back when we were getting them, they didn't have China in the mix. I just wonder if they came back to the table while we didn't get any reports there the last 3 weeks. Maybe we'll find out Thursday.
I think we probably will get some idea of what they've done Thursday.
Would that be enough to turn the market around?
It might be. It just depends, obviously, the amount there. But, I think, since back in November, we've had some optimism that China would come in and be a buyer of some U.S. beef. It's just the quantity is up in the air right now.
Well, Dewey, thanks so much for visiting with us and helping us kick off our trading week. Dewey Strickler of AgWatch Market Advisors. He is based in Franklin, Kentucky.